Good evening. I'd like to call to order the special meeting of the Town Council for Tuesday, March 27th, 2018. If I could ask if everybody could please silence their cell phones. Thank you. Madam Clerk?
Yes, you have all councilors present.
We are on to item 2 on the Town Council agenda, and this is a public hearing, 2018-0050. Back to you, Madam Clerk.
Okay. So it's a notice public hearing, March 27th, 2018. Notice is hereby given that a public hearing will be held by the Town Council on March 27th, 2018 at 6:30 p.m. in the community room at Town Hall Annex, 134 Groton Long Point Road, Groton, Connecticut, on a proposed lease of Town Hall Annex office space to Poquonnock Bridge Fire District. This ran in the New London Day as required by the state statutes on the 13th of March and again on the 20th of March.
Are there any citizens that have signed up to speak for the public hearing?
None have signed up.
All right. If there's no comment from the council, then we will close the very brief public hearing. Thank you. Item number 3, new business. Councilor Moravsik.
A suspension of the Town Council Rule 7 to consider an act on resolution of the approval of the amount of bonds to be issued in fiscal year 2018.
Moved by Moravsik. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Zepari. All those in favor of suspending the rules to...
Aye.
I'm sorry?
You said aye.
Okay. All those in favor of suspending the rules to consider 2018-0073, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, abstaining, so moved. Okay, Councilor Moravsik, the rules have been suspended, so you may move the resolution now.
Resolution approving the amount of general obligation bonds to be sold. Whereas a referendum held November 6, 2012, the town of Groton appropriated $11,200,000 and authorized general purpose bonds in such amount for the road maintenance and rehabilitation project pursuant to ordinance number 277. And whereas on April 16, 2014, the town of Groton issued $3,715,000 general purpose bonds for the road maintenance program pursuant to ordinance number 277. And whereas on March 7, 2017, the Town Council allocated an additional available bond proceeds in the amount of $791,779.25 to the project. And whereas on March 7, 2017 and April 12, 2017, the Town Council and the Town Representative meeting representatively extended the appropriations and borrowing authorization for such projects. And whereas ordinance number 277 authorizes the Town Council to determine the amount of bonds to be sold, therefore be it resolved that 6,690,000 bonds to be sold pursuant to the said ordinance. I so move.
Second.
Moved by Moravsik and seconded by Heed. Is there discussion on item 2018-0073? Councilor Zepari.
I will vote for this resolution. However, I would like to speak against the concept. This is something that we started long before this panel of councilors took office, and these bond issuances were approved then, and we're simply completing that process at this time. However, we're issuing bonds for purposes of doing something that we routinely do on a recurrent basis, that is repaving roads. And we're kicking the payment down the road at the expense of many thousands of dollars in interest fees. It would be far better for us in the future to start accumulating a fund, and we could even consider it a lockbox fund for the purpose of repaving the roads, that we would put so much money in on an annual basis so that we would be prepared to pave the roads without having a bond issue. But right now, I can only see that within another 5 years, as we're going now, we're going to need another bond issue to continue repaving the roads, because that's a process that must continue on an annual basis.
Thank you. Anyone else have any comments they'd like to make on this? Counselor Aubrey.
Well, personally, I'd rather patch than pave. I think it's a mistake to be continuing on with this program. The interest rate, if I've read it correctly, has gone up from when we originally, when the original bond was taken out. And I think it would be wiser for the town not to be bonding for this project. So it's just my feeling about it.
Councilor Moravsik?
In the past, I believe, before they had the bond issue, they had money set aside for the road pavement, and the money seemed to be always been taken out either by the council or by the RTM. And as a result, over the years, the roads were really in bad shape. And it got to the point where something had to be done, and that was the reason for this bond issue. And I do agree with you, we shouldn't continue this. Now that we have the roads, some of those roads in fairly good shape, we ought to consider using the CIP project or coming out in a yearly budget where we have a lockbox, like you mentioned, Councilman, and keep that money so that can't be taken out. That's the problem we had in the past.
Is there any discussion about this vote tonight? We can talk the policy issue at another time
Could I ask the manager's opinion?
on whether we should approve this or not.
Well, I
Yes, you may.
completely agree with comments about getting away from bonding, but this is for work already done to repair ourselves, so it's not for new work. We've already completed this work, so the ones tonight are needed, but I completely agree with trying to get to a point where you're not bonding for it.
Okay, so then I will call for a vote on 2018-0073, the resolution approving amount of bonds to be issued in FYE 2018. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? 1. Aubrey. Abstaining?
No.
Can I see the vote again, please? All those in
No,
favor?
You're fine, you're fine. I was kidding.
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Just 1. Okay, so 8 to 1, 0 with Aubrey opposed. Thank you. Counselor Parker, if you could move to suspend rules for the next item.
Suspension of Town Council Rule 7B to consider an act on 2018-0075, resolution zeroing out bond authorization for additions, renovations to senior center. I so move.
Second.
Moved by Parker, seconded by Moravsik to suspend the rules to consider an act on 2018-0075. Any discussion on suspending the rules? Seeing none, we will vote to suspend the rules. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, abstaining, that moved unanimously. Councilor Parker?
Resolution zeroing out the bond authorization for the additions, renovations to senior center. Whereas the town of Groton, Connecticut appropriated the sum of $11,707,000 and authorized the issue of bonds in the same amount by ordinance adopted by the town council at meetings held on June 19, 2007 and October 16, 2012, and approved by the representative town meetings on August 8, 2007 and November 1, 2012, and at a referendum held November 6, 2007, for additions/renovations to senior center. And whereas the ordinance provided that the town council would determine the amount of such bonds to be issued, and whereas in connection with the issuance of $375,000 general obligation bonds, issue of 2014, Lot B federally taxable, and $9,675,000 general obligation bonds issue of 2009. Said authorization was reduced to $2,470,000, and whereas there will be no requirement for future borrowings on the project, now therefore be it resolved that the amount of such bonds remaining as authorized but unissued shall be reduced to 0. I so move.
Second.
Moved by Parker and seconded by Moravsik. Is there any discussion on this resolution to zero out the bonds for the senior center? Seeing none, I'll call for a vote. All those in favor of 2018-0075 say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstaining? So moved unanimously. Counselor Franco, if you could move to suspend the rules for the next item, please.
suspension of Town Council Rule 7B to consider and act on 2018-0087, resolution zeroing out bond authorization for Thames Street Rehabilitation.
Moved by
so
Franco,
Second.
seconded by Perry. All those in favor of suspending the rules to consider 2018-0087, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, abstaining, so moved unanimously. Counselor Franco.
Resolution zeroing out the bond authorization for the Thames Street Rehabilitation, whereas the Town of Groton, Connecticut appropriated the sum of $6,375,505 and authorized the issue of bonds in the same amount by ordinance adopted by the Town Council at meetings held February 8th, 2011 and February 2nd, 2016, and approved by the representative town meeting on March 9th, 2011 and March 9th, 2016, and at a referendum held May 2nd, 2011 for Thames Street Rehabilitation. And whereas the ordinance provided that the Town Council would determine the amount of such bond to be issued, and whereas in connection with the issuance of $8,945,000 general obligation bonds issued of 2014, Lot A, said authorization was reduced to $1,145,505, and whereas there will be no requirement for future borrowing on this project, now therefore be it resolved that the total amount of such bonds remaining authorized but unused shall be reduced to zero. I so move.
Second.
Moved by Franco and seconded by Parker. Is there any discussion on 2018-0087? Seeing none, I'll call for a vote. All those in favor of 2018-0087, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstaining? So moved unanimously.
Move to adjourn.
Moved by Heed,
Second.
seconded by Parker. All those in favor of adjourning a Town Council special meeting, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstaining? So moved unanimously. Town Council meeting is adjourned.